And welcome to Around the Table with Dan and Ann. It is a Tuesday here in the neighborhood, and we lost our intro music, which is okay.
It's just so fun. It is. It's like you wake up in a new world every day.
Yeah. It's Tuesday. It's the 8th of April.
I know, right?
April. I was going to say February or March.
Nope.
But we're right in the middle of spring.
I was going to say spring.
Spring is sprung.
Y'all, yesterday I posted a picture last night of my sunset on my personal page.
Oh,
Dude,
okay.
it was like the sunshine yesterday. I gave credit to the creator because it was like God knew I needed some sunshine.
Were you missing the sun?
And he knew I needed a good sunset.
Yeah.
So he showed off a little bit.
Yeah, Kelly loves the sun too, and she yesterday at the end of the day when I came home from work, she got up and she looked out the window and she goes, "Oh, look." And I said, "What is it? What is it?" And she goes, "The sun is out."
Yeah, I'm with Kelly on that one. Man, I need that sunshine.
Oh my gosh.
Especially after the length of time that we had experienced rain.
Yeah.
And storm.
Well, you feel like you need to crawl in a cave or something when there's no
pretty much
sunshine.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's a new day.
Yeah, did you want to say something about the service pickup, the LRS service day?
Yeah, well, this is the citywide cleanup.
Yes.
I have to get my thing.
Oh, that's fine.
Will you start talking about it?
I will start talking about it. Okay. Before we do, I want to mention that Stone Bank is sponsoring our show. We are so proud to have them here. It is Boulder Banking. If you're wanting a bank that's, stands out in front of the crowd, you need a bank that's bolder. Boulder.
You're bolder.
Stone Bank. The City of Harrison's annual spring citywide cleanup will begin Monday.
Yesterday.
Yes,
it began yesterday.
It started yesterday.
Yeah.
And will be serviced on your normal scheduled LRS service day. See the map on the back. I don't have the map here with me.
Yeah.
The acceptable items to pick up are listed below, and we'll go over some of those. The acceptable items in red will not be picked up, and we'll go over those. Pickup will begin early. All items must be placed at or near the curb by 6 a.m. Or the night before your normal scheduled service day. This is a service. For residents paying for cash, paying for their trash pickup. So if you have stuff piled up on the front there, and if you're not a
customer
paying
of
for,
LRS,
yeah, they probably won't pick it up. So
good luck.
It's not a freebie.
No. So
you got to be paying for trash service. Let's see. Please read below, and we will do that. The items that will be accepted are carpet and pads must be in 4-foot sections, 4x4. Links rolled and secured. So I guess it could be a longer length as long as it's not over 4 feet wide.
Yeah.
Small furniture, desk, dresser, table, chairs, love seats. They'll take those. Mattresses and box springs. Oh, they'll take those. Great. Appliances not containing Freon. So if you have a dishwasher, washer, dryer, they'll pick those up. They'll pick up toys, bicycles. Tires must be removed. They don't want those rubber tires in the landfill. Outdoor lawn furniture, small lumber must be cut into 4-foot lengths. Nothing longer than that. So
yeah, the City of Harrison will have, I think, this posted on their Facebook page, which is a real convenient way to go back and check and see everything that he just went over, as well as the unacceptable items.
Yeah.
So
are the acceptable items? These are the unacceptable items.
Yes. Go ahead.
Those are tires and batteries, liquid waste, including paint, varnish, insecticides, no large construction material, and remodeled projects, automobiles and automobile parts they will not take, Freon-containing appliances, concrete, dirt, bricks, and block they will not take, electronic waste and yard waste like leaves and grass and clippings they will not take, which is kind of nice to know.
Yeah.
Items exceeding 6 foot in length they will not take.
Because they've already kind of done that, haven't they, with the yard clippings,
yeah,
the leaves and stuff, whatever. But anyway, yes,
yeah,
there you are.
And the LRS employees will not, I repeat, will not remove items from trailers or personal vehicles. Items brought from outside of town will not be serviced. Mattresses and box springs for health and safety reasons they ask that you wrap them in plastic and secured with some kind of tape,
Okay.
like bed bugs. And I don't know.
Well,
whatever,
I mean,
whatever
there
else.
could be,
All kinds of things.
I don't
yeah.
know what kind of disease could live in there.
Yeah.
I
And we'll continue to mention this throughout the.
And then I want a quickie on the rabies clinic
Okay.
coming up April 19th. That's not this Saturday, or I don't even know if the 19th is Saturday. Yes, it is. But it's the next Saturday from 9 to 1 in Bergman City Hall. There will be a rabies clinic sponsored by Ozark Homeward Bound. And I just happened to see this on a Facebook page. I'll put it on our Around the Table page when I get around to it. And you'll have that information. Well, I can't tell you when. And you can look at it there, what all's covered. But that's, I know Wanda has talked about this before as additional rabies clinic. But here's your opportunity.
Okay. All right.
All right. Now we're back to whatever we're supposed to be doing.
I think
today.
we need to talk about the weather. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I think the weather's good.
You know, and it says it was like 36 degrees this morning, and they could have had some frost if you noticed frost. It should have melted off by 9 a.m. Otherwise, sunny with a high near 62 degrees, calm winds this morning. And then tonight, clear with a low around 42 degrees, southwest winds around 5 to 15 miles per hour. And on Wednesday, sunny with a high near 74 degrees with some sun. Yeah, Wednesday night, partly cloudy, no sun whatsoever over the night, and a low of around 50 degrees. And then Thursday, sunny with a high near 73, another great day, with a low Thursday night around 44.
Friday is sunny with a high of 64. Friday night, clear, low of 39. They had to like dip back into the 30s there a little bit. Saturday, sunny with a high of 69, and then Saturday night, low of 49. Sunday and Monday are 78 and 80. That's good stuff right there. Sunday night, a low of 60. So hopefully we're out of this cold crud.
That's lawn mowing. That's lawn mowing weather.
Richard has looked at the yard ever since we've been home going, I'm going to have to mow that. It's like it's not quite ready.
Yeah.
Because there's some of it that's not quite ready.
Yeah.
And it makes it kind of a pain in the rear, but it is time.
Well, Kelly's the mower. She loves to get on that zero-turning mower, and so she mowed last weekend.
Did she?
Yeah, I could tell. It needed it.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
there you are, people. Get ready.
Get ready.
And then you got to deal with all the allergies.
Yeah.
So.
Later on the show, we're going to have Jeff Middleton on the show. He's going to be talking about the Boone County Heritage Museum. They've been revamping that place. They're really getting down and doing some wonderful things down there. They're going to have an open house this weekend.
Okay.
And he's here to tell us all about it. They've got videos. They want everybody that's able to come to the museum to get there. And you know, the steps have been an issue for older people that like to go back and look at some of the history. But they've got somebody that's gone through the entire museum, and they've made videos. So if you can't make it up steps, you can watch. They've got kiosks there that you can watch videos.
How nice is that?
Yeah. Well, he's going to explain a little bit more on a little bit later after our first break.
You know, the museum is like where it's located is a historic figure.
Well, that was
in and of itself.
It was a high school at one time,
yeah, my
right?
mom went to high school there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I went to junior high in that building. I mean, I had classes in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I know.
It's funny.
Yeah.
You remember running up and down those steps?
Oh, do I?
Now, did you go outside?
I think it was civics up there or something.
Did you go out and smoke?
No.
Oh,
this was junior high, Dan.
Well, I smoked in junior high.
I didn't in junior high. I got corrupted.
When did you start
high school? High school, sometime in high school.
You did smoke, though, didn't you?
I did some,
After a while.
yeah. You know, I was a little closet.
Everybody
in there.
smoked.
All the kids. I mean, we all tried it. Me and my friends were like, oh, yeah. And then now I look back and go,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We have some topics to ponder
Let's
today.
do it.
You want to do it?
Get up, get moving, get those thinking caps on. It's time to ponder this topic.
You know, I got a little selfish this week, and I thought I'm going to talk about things that we all think about
ourselves. I think that's perfectly fine.
We all think about ourselves. When's the last time you looked in the mirror?
This morning.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Here, when I went to the restroom and washed my hands.
And what was there any surprises?
Not really.
Did you say, oh gosh?
Not so much. You know, no, there was no surprises. I do have to say, I've noticed in the last couple of years,
a little
things
change,
changing.
a little change.
Things are changing, not only in the joints and that type of thing, but just in the body. I still weigh the same.
Yeah.
But
is it
stuff is proportioned to different.
Is it distributing different places?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and it's like, why is that lumpy there? And why is it kind of...
Why do you look dumpy now? It's true.
I talked to a guy in Walmart the other day who was in the gym when I was in the gym. And he was
bulky.
Buff. And of course, he wasn't in his workout clothes. He was working there in Walmart. And I says... when was the last time you were in it? I said, you still working out? And he says, I've been in there for 15 months.
Really?
Yeah. And he says, man, he says, when you get old, he said, I've lost 40% of my muscle mass.
It happens.
It just goes away. And I said, yeah.
You're not really working out now, but I try to work out. I mean, I do work out, but like right now I'm dealing with this whole elbow thing and I can't.
You can't.
I do strength training because I think that's good for women who are aging and, to keep some muscle mass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I can't do any of it.
Yeah. That's odd. When I started working out, I had sciatic pain.
Yeah. Y'all listen to
and, I kept working out. I kept stretching and the whole thing, and it went away finally. It did go away. So working out does help, but if you're hurting something over and over and over again, you probably shouldn't
That's
do
why
it.
I finally quit after 3 weeks of continuing to do it. Hey, I got to say, this is old people talk. I mean, how sad is this? This is
bad.
what you're... And next thing we'll be talking about our bowels and all that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the next
how
step.
did your bowels do this morning? Gosh, not even going there yet.
Ooh, boy, howdy.
Anyway, our topic to ponder this week is if you could instantly, would you increase or lose weight?
I don't know so much about increase or lose weight. I would tone.
Tone?
I have to change that.
This
because,
is about weight, though.
Okay, well,
Would you lose?
Yeah, sure.
And how many? How many pounds
10.
would you use? Yeah, I'd lose 10 pounds. And I think 10 pounds is the typical answer.
But then you're going to have saggy skin where it's already saggy. So there's always issues along with that. You got to look at the big picture, people.
Yeah. If some of the fat would just go to places in my face where it's not so wrinkly.
Like, come on. What the heck? Oh, dear.
Okay, the topic to ponder for today is if you could instantly, would you increase or lose weight?
I haven't looked to see. Oh, here it is. We don't even have any responses yet. So
well, good.
They'll get there. Somebody will comment.
Now, we like to read them if they're there.
You betcha.
Anyway, go to our Facebook page. It's up, and it's ready to be answered.
Please, we plead with you
All
to
right.
engage.
Let's do some history, shall we?
Shall we?
We're doomed to repeat ourselves, so let's find out what happened today in history.
There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7:15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
51 years ago, Hank Aaron of the Atlanta Braves broke Babe Ruth's home run record by slugging his 715th career home run. The record came on a pitch from Al Downing of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Milo Hamilton had the call. Barry Bonds broke Aaron's record in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
I'm directing the Secretary of Commerce to take possession of the steel mills and to keep them operating.
Wow, how can he do that? That was a president.
Yeah.
Making a demand.
Yeah,
Oh, my
really.
gosh. Horrible. 73 years ago today, President Truman seized the steel industry to avert a national strike. The Supreme Court later ruled that Truman had overstepped his authority. Good for them.
It was a special child who was thrust into a special circumstance, and he just glowed in that circumstance.
35 years ago, after a courageous fight against AIDS that gained world attention, 18-year-old Brian White died in Indianapolis. He was remembered by his physician, Dr. Martin Kleiman.
Okay.
I have known since the time of my brain operation in September 1988 that I have AIDS.
This was 33 years ago following a press inquiry and convicted and convinced he could no longer maintain his privacy. Tennis star Arthur Ashe made a stunning announcement about his health. Ashe died 10 months later.
Oh, I'm in shock right now, and this is crazy.
This diehard fan, man.
It's a loss to me. It's a big one.
31 years ago, the body of Nirvana lead singer Kurt Cobain was found in his Seattle home. He had apparently killed himself with a shotgun a few days earlier. Those fans were among many who mourned his loss.
There was 4 Somali pirates with AK-47s. We took one of them hostage in the steering gear room with us, and then the other 3, the captain talked them into getting in the lifeboat.
16 years ago, Somali pirates hijacked the U.S.-flagged Mercic, Alabama. Although the crew was able to retake the cargo ship, second mate Ken Quinn explained how Captain Richard Phillips was taken to a lifeboat and held captive by the raiders. Phillips was rescued 5 days later by Navy SEAL snipers who shot 3 of the pirates dead. I think there's
Wasn't
a movie.
there a movie
Yeah.
with maybe Tom Hanks
Tom
or
Hanks,
somebody
yeah.
as the... That's okay.
I remember that, yeah.
That's the guy that took lives and injured people and carried out a heinous, destructive act in the city of Boston.
Okay, 10 years ago, Jahar Tsarnaev was convicted by a federal jury on all 30 charges against him in the Boston Marathon bombing. Transit police officer Richard Donahue was in a shootout with him and saw him face-to-face during the trial.
I remember watching that live cover. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just intense TV watching.
Right.
Constantly, yeah.
He was sentenced to death 1 month
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Ben Ferrance was just 27 when he gave the opening arguments at Nuremberg Trial Number 9.
The case we present is a plea of humanity to law.
The accused, 22 commanders of secret SS units whose job was to follow the German army as it invaded the Soviet Union, then kill communists, gypsies, and especially Jews. The defendants all pleaded not guilty.
Defense face were blank all the time.
All were convicted, 4 were hanged, and Ben Ferrance spent the rest of his life trying to prevent other genocides around the world, or at least to hold people accountable.
2 years ago, Ben Ferrance was the living prosecutor from the Nuremberg trials who tried Nazi for genocidal war crimes and was among the first outside witnesses to document the atrocities of Nazi labor and concentration camps. Who died at the age of 103. CBS News correspondent Matt Piper had more on that story.
Can we play this one?
No.
Okay. Actor John Schneider was born on this day in 1960. He is 65. Schneider was one of the Dukes of Hazzard. Anyway, we all remember the theme song there.
Yeah.
I can be a part of your campaign, or I can end it. I'll do whatever it takes, too, but I will not let this go.
Actress Robin Wright was born on this day in 1966. She is 59 today. Her many roles include Claire Underwood on House of Cards. You like that show?
Yeah.
I still love your father, but that doesn't mean it was healthy for us to stay together.
Actress Patricia Arquette was born on this day in 1968. She's 57. She won an Oscar for her role in Boyhood.
Okay.
There you go. There's your Today in History.
All right. And then we're going to take a quick break, and we have Jeff Middleton.
With a whole different history.
With all kinds of different history. We're going to talk about the Boone County Heritage Museum and the great things they're doing there. They're doing a little revamp and updating some things. We'll find out all about that in just a few minutes. Stick around, stay with us. You're listening to the original KHOZ 94.9, and you can watch us right now live on Facebook or YouTube channels.
I like our Around the Table page, by the way.
Yeah, you can like it if you want.
Yeah.
You can go to our if you have a television and you're watching over the air. It's 26.1 over the air and 843 on Cox Cable. Gosh,
there you go. That was a mouthful, man.
It was. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Around the table with Dan and Ann. We're talking with Jeff Middleton, and he came in the office a few days ago and was talking about the Boone County Heritage Museum, and I was wondering who was going to contact us about the museum. We've had several people over the last 10 years that would come in and tell us the great things that were going on, but you guys, you were telling me some pretty interesting things that's going on down there. You're taking the video technology by the horns.
Well, it's a transition time. It's an era of technology.
Sure.
One of our big issues for ever since that building has been there has been the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Climbing the stairs. Most of our exhibits are upstairs, second and third floor, and so many people come in, and older people with mobility issues come in, and I point up the stairs and say, what's up there, and they look and they just shake their heads, and it breaks my heart because it happens so often. A lot of older people that went to school there or from the area, and so it was just they would have to wait while the rest of their group went upstairs, and so one of our board members there, Dr. Don Crosswhite, who is by trade an evangelist, has been for years, and somehow picked up the ability to do all sorts of video productions.
Oh, cool, yeah.
I call him the oldest video guru in the state of Arkansas. I won't tell you how old he is, but he's a lot older than I am. So he has a great ability to make beautiful videos, music videos, documentaries, advertisements, and he said, why don't we do videos of each of the rooms that are upstairs, and then have a room set aside where people that can't climb those stairs can come in, and they can view in each room individually with the ones that they're interested in, or all of them, and they'll see what the people would see that are
that's
there.
cool. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And
You have to think about that, yeah.
In some cases, actually, you'll see more because as they were videoing these, there's a voiceover that narrating
nice
specific artifacts or items, sometimes a little bit of history behind that room or that artifact that's not posted in the room.
Yeah.
And so in some cases you find out more information. Some people might even want to do both,
right,
which is fine. And so Dr. Don volunteered to do that, and he has done a number of videos in the past for the museum that were interviews, just like we had a number of World War II veterans who are now gone. Wonderful interviews with them, and some other prominent Boone County citizens, mostly all gone now too, that he had done years ago. And see, I didn't know about that because I was new there at the museum, and so he said, let's do this, and we realized we needed a little bit of equipment. He had all the equipment to do the videos, but we needed a big screen, and we needed something to play it on. And we had a room. We call it our Equity Bank room. Equity Bank sponsors that room, and so we got some nice new furniture with padded chairs and a nice table, a big screen, and cleaned it up and decorated a little. And Don and his wife and others from the museum helped, worked on those videos, and finished them up. Each room, we have 10 rooms. 9 of the rooms are in the old high school building, the museum there. And the 10th room is, a lot of people don't realize that the Boone County Museum has 2 buildings. If you are at the corner of Maple and Central Avenue, there's a building there. It used to be the old school. It was a lot of different things. It was a daycare. It was a special ed type building.
Yeah.
A lot of different
It was a
things.
band room back
band
then.
room, yes. Yes, the band room is connected by a tunnel.
I did not know that.
A tunnel, and it belongs to the museum now, and we're turning that part of that into our archives.
Nice.
It's slow, but the biggest room in there has been converted into an exhibit about the Mountain Meadows Massacre, which took place, it was the first September 11th. September 11th, 1857.
History repeating itself.
And folks from Boone County were the victims in that. So we have a big room dedicated to that with a full-size Conestoga wagon, full-size oxen in there, markers that
Wow, I didn't know
designate
that.
every single person that was killed, plus about the surviving children. And so that's a big, it's a separate,
That's a draw.
Separate room
Yeah.
and separate building. And it, unfortunately, because it is in a separate building, we're not able to show it very much because we don't have the staff to take somebody down there.
Right.
We are so desperate for volunteers.
Can they go do it themselves, or do you prefer
Well, it would have to be unlocked and turn off the alarm.
I gotcha.
And
so
generally, if we take them down there, we're just going to stay with them. But we've had a number of people do that by special appointment.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, so that room is now one of the 10 that's on video.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah.
actually, there's 2 videos about that. This is hard to believe with Dr. Don. I will say he's in his 80s. And he makes me tired because he has so much energy. And he has gotten into doing music videos.
Oh, okay.
And so he has a friend, I think his name is Mark Farmer. They're both old Lead Hill folks who writes poems and lyrics. And Don will say, Mark, write me some lyrics for something about the Mountain Meadows massacre. And he'll scribble off some things, and then Don will take those and he runs them through all these computers, and then he runs them through AI, artificial intelligence, and which makes the music and the singing. He chooses what type of, like, country or rock or whatever, And so the music video about the Mountain Meadows has photos, going in there, and then there's music, singing. And the words are on the screen. It's quite remarkable.
Oh my gosh!
And he's
using
it's
AI
a professional
technology.
job there.
He is doing AI. He did one about the Harrison flood of '61.
Wow!
Which the mayor's office requested a copy of that for the.
Oh my gosh!
They wanted to play it down at the new Creekside thing, and then he just finished one last week about the Allied Telephone Company building explosion in 1979, and I love it. And we found some old color slides that somebody had, and he was able to convert those and use them as the photos while the music video's going. So we've got a separate video for each room, and we have music videos that are on top of that. There's over 100 videos. We have a number, I don't know how many interviews with, as I said, World War II veterans, maybe some Vietnam veterans in there. I can't remember for sure. And then a number of prominent Boone County business people or politicians or citizens, most of whom are gone now. And some of them, these videos range anywhere from 3 minutes to 20 minutes each. So a person come in and say, I want to, and we have a big board, we call it our menu board, and it has a list of all the videos.
Oh, you brought it with you.
And, yes, it's big. I don't know.
Can we get...
we can see it. I don't know if we can actually see exactly what it says here. Let's see. Museum rooms... let's see, museum videos. There's Sue Barger, Jim Bergman Brees is on there, James Bryant is on there, June Callicott, John Campbell.
See, over here are the I think the veterans
military videos. David Fenton.
Yes.
Okay, there's a long
museum
list.
rooms tour, and there's
Boots Mayberry.
Yeah, his are unbelievable.
Yeah,
he was shot down over Germany.
Yes.
And was captured and spent the rest of the war in a not a concentration camp, but a prisoner camp.
Yeah.
And his testimony is amazing. So we have all of those, and then a number of the Lead Hill-oriented type ones that Don has done through the years. Famous Lead Hill people that we didn't know about, maybe like the guy Jimmy Angel that named Angel Falls in Venezuela because he crash landed out there. He's from Lead Hill, So we have all this
a lot of
kind
history.
of stuff in there. And so I believe Dr. Don said that you could watch every one of them on there in approximately 2 hours.
You can go check them out and watch them there. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you don't check them out. What you're going to do is you sit in our newly refurbished Equity Bank room, and you come in and let us know. You look at the menu, say, I want to watch the one about the flood of 61.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to watch the interview with Boots Mayberry. And you just decide, and we just pop, we have a big computer there, and just set them up in a big screen, big TV screen, and they can just watch to their heart's content. Groups can come in. We've already had a couple of homeschool groups come in. I told them they were the guinea pigs, but they brought their lunch and sat in there, and we played some of those music videos.
Oh, cool.
This is like so huge for the museum, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
A huge step in the right direction.
Well, I think that you said at one time you're going to try to put these on a YouTube channel.
Yes.
Or Facebook. Some of them are on Facebook now.
A couple of them
yeah,
are,
a couple
yes. And our Facebook page is semi-active. I don't do
You have to have somebody to man it.
That's the thing, and I'm the one, unfortunately. But I don't do a great job of it. I do always put on the articles that appear in the Harrison Daily Times that I write. They always go in there, and now I'm trying to put the videos. But we're setting up a YouTube channel that goes active this Friday.
Okay.
And the very first video from this list will go active.
Okay.
I've got it scheduled to start on Friday, and then the plan is to put a new one each week or so. I don't know.
Well, you've got a big event coming up this weekend, right?
Well, it's actually this
Friday.
week. It's
this Friday,
actually Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Okay.
Open house, if you want to call it, whatever. We're going to be open. Our normal days that the museum is open are Thursdays and Fridays from 10 to 4, and the first Saturday of each month. That's all we can do, because we don't have enough volunteers.
Hint.
But this is hint. Please, volunteers. Thursday will be open from 10 to 7, okay? And people can just come in, drop in at their leisure. We'll have a few snacks there. Maybe that'll lure a few people in.
That'll lure some people in, yeah.
And we're just going to have videos going. Free admission. We want people to maybe see the museum itself, too, that have not or want to see it again. And so the museum will be open. They'll just self-tour up and down the stairs if they want. And the videos are going to be playing. So we just want people to see what's going on there. There's so many people that will come in and say, oh, I haven't been in here in years, or I've lived here for years and I've never been here before.
Yeah.
We're like, well, thank you for coming. We're glad you're here. We think we have some amazing exhibits and artifacts there that we have had people from all over the country that have come and say, for a town of the size of Harrison, your museum is just really, really amazing.
Well, you have people coming in bus tours sometimes, people from out of town coming through this area. They stop
not
there.
As much as we'd like, but yes, we do. And we'd have school groups on occasion. I know in the public schools it's so hard now for them to schedule field trips and do all that stuff and take away from their class instructional time. But we do have a few. We have young adult college classes come in, and we have a lot of private school and homeschool groups that come in. That's probably the most of any one type of group. And we've added a thing that's really a neat. One of our board members came up with the idea of a scavenger hunt. And I didn't bring one. I'm so sorry.
Boy. Okay.
But it's a sheet front and back with about 24 photos of artifacts
Find them.
in
you
the
got to
museum.
find them.
That's cool.
And you got to find them and check them off.
Oh,
and we
cool.
thought it would be just for the children. What we found out is the high school kids and the college kids want to do that, and they get super competitive.
I'll bet. I bet they do.
You can hear them upstairs, yelling and finding stuff, and so that has been really popular. And
but letting everyone to be able to know and an opportunity to come in like you are for this open house Thursday is people who are listening and
Mhm.
and get on here and are watching or whatever, take advantage of that
Sure.
time to go see
for
what they've
for
done there.
for the people that want to come to the museum and maybe go up the steps and look on their own, what's your hours this time of year?
All right, we're Thursdays and Fridays from 10 to 4,
Mm-hmm.
and then the first Saturday of each month from 10 to 4. So as I was saying earlier, we don't have any. We would like to expand those hours, but this is all we can do based on the
If
jurors.
you Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, if you had a tour bus or someone that was coming to there, you would open for them.
Oh,
I
yes,
think.
we do that all the time.
Okay. Okay.
With school groups, somebody will contact me and say, "Can we come in Tuesday at noon?" and whatever. And
Yeah.
almost without exception, myself or one of our other volunteers, Martha Wilson, is our other really dedicated volunteer. She spends more time there than anybody and knows more about the museum than anybody. And she and I tag team a lot
Okay.
with groups. And this April, the Saturday was mine. The May Saturday will be hers, vice versa.
Okay.
Another thing, y'all may know or you may not know that there's a new requirement in Arkansas for high school students to graduate. They have to have volunteer hours.
That's what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
yeah.
And
this is a great volunteer opportunity.
one of my granddaughters spent a lot of time last summer doing that. She just did it because she liked it too, and she was up there all the time. And I don't know if they'll count them all, but she got enough hours last summer before her 9th grade year to complete her requirement already.
That's awesome.
I'm going to pick up this picture.
So,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
All right.
yeah. Sorry, I
While
forgot.
we close this out.
Yeah, this is the photo of the. That's an artist rendering of the original 1912 Harrison High School.
Oh yeah, with the arched windows.
Right, with the arched windows and the arch entrance.
Yeah.
That used to enter on the second floor. And when they remodeled it in the 51, 52 to turn it into the junior high, they gutted it inside and out. Some of the looks are not as beautiful as they were, and they did a lot of things that we now can look at and question.
Yeah.
But nobody is around to explain
Yeah.
why they did it the way they did it. But it's still a beautiful old building. We love it.
Yeah. They had a time capsule. I think they opened that up
Yes.
a few years ago.
2012. It was
Yeah.
the 100th
Okay.
year.
Yeah.
And it's on a big cornerstone
Yeah.
that's still
Yeah.
there, set in the building.
That's neat.
All the stuff that was in that time capsule is there at the museum.
That's cool.
So,
Well, y'all make a trip
Yeah.
down to the Boone County Heritage Museum on Thursday from 10 to 7 and check out what
Yeah,
they
check
have
out the
done,
open house.
progress they're making, and everything that's in there. And also, you can talk to someone about volunteering.
Jeff, thanks so much, buddy.
I
We
appreciate you all
it.
having
Thank
me
you.
in.
Hey, and we'll have you come back if you've got something new that you'd like to talk
Yeah,
about,
sure.
or if Don wants to come in, tell him
I
we're
will
we'd
try to
love
get you to come in. Yeah, he'll give you a good talking.
All right. Thanks, guys. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have more for you from Around the Table with Dan and Ann. Stay with us. Welcome back to Around the Table. It's a Tuesday.
Yes, it is, Dan.
Terrific Tuesday.
I thought it was Taco Tuesday.
Is it tacos?
I'm
Wait a
not
minute, I
having
am so
tacos.
hungry right now.
No, I could make a okay. I just
Can you make
decided what was
taco?
for dinner.
Oh, you're making tacos for dinner?
Well, I have leftover brisket. So I think we're going
Oh.
to have some brisket taco
Oh,
type
okay.
things. Yeah. Thank you for helping me with that little decision that's always a thing. You got to decide what to
Yeah.
have for dinner.
You ever stop at some of these food trucks around town?
I do, Dan. No, not very often. And
Okay.
that is no shade on the food trucks at all.
Yeah.
I just
I think we
like
should
to
get-
cook, so I just
You know,
cook.
these are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Individual, home-owned people that are trying to make it in life,
Yeah.
trying to find. Actually, they have a desire to satisfy people with their food, and
Yes.
and people will say, I think my barbecue's much better than what I've been buying around town.
Uh-huh.
So they start a truck or they open a restaurant or whatever.
I think that really hit the ground running during COVID. Is when the food
Yes.
truck thing
Yeah.
exploded.
Yeah.
And then people don't have to pay for a storefront.
Mhm.
They can own their food truck.
Mhm.
And yeah, I would think finding a good location would be one of the challenges.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
But
And there's several around town. We ought to maybe get some in
Well,
here.
we kind of talked about that on the break, and if you happen to be listening and you are the owner of a food truck, go message us on Around the Table.
Yeah, or if you're a listener and you say, you guys really need to talk about this place because they've got some awesome food.
We'll reach out to them. We know we're probably our show happens in the mornings, so we'd have to make sure they could
Make
swing that with their schedule. But
food
we'd love
truck,
to do that.
Yeah, a food truck. You just don't walk up like 5 minutes before noon and open the door. I mean, there's prep and the whole thing. You got to warm things up and cook
And I don't
things
think we have half a clue. I don't think we have a clue as to how many probably there are available. Food truck type things.
In Mountain Home at one of the shopping centers, they converted a certain part of the parking lot for food trucks, and there's 6-8 together. They're permanently there.
Well, they have the food court.
Yeah.
Where the Jameson Pizza, and I don't remember who else is there. And I know there's been others that have come and go there.
There has been some that came and some that's left, and I know that Jameson's is still there, and they stayed busy. And the one of the things that I've noticed is when I'm coming home, like on a Friday or something, I will tell Kelly, I'll say, you want me to pick up a Jameson pizza?
Yeah.
They're not bad. I mean, they're not a bad pizza. They're on the other scale. They're really good. So
so why don't you pick me up one and bring? I'm
going the wrong way.
Oh yeah. See, that's the problem.
You'd have to come over to the house or something to eat. Get your
house.
slice. Okay. Anything happening?
Are we going to have another break?
Yes, we will. Gosh, that interview was a little long, was it?
It was long, but it was good.
It was very good.
Informative, and I am tickled with the upgrading that they're doing.
Yeah.
In the museum.
Yeah, they're thinking.
Yeah, they are thinking, and like we mentioned, if you're out there thinking, I need some volunteer hours, this would be a perfect opportunity. But anyway.
Yeah, or if you don't want the hours, maybe you just want to volunteer.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe you're sitting around the house on your phone all day. Maybe you should get up and
go do something.
Have purpose.
There you
Find
go.
purpose. We'll take another break, and when we come back, we have more. But we want to let you know that Stone Bank is sponsoring this show.
Okay.
And we're proud of them. Boulder Banking. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Around the Table with Dan and wait a minute, hold on. Dan and
I'm gonna turn you down because this is so ridiculous.
Dan and Ann, that's right. I had to go through it in my mind again.
That's because your brain is shut down.
It's shot. There's no shutting down.
Completely shot.
It's just completely shot.
Wow. Well, you know what? Maybe you should join these people, the TikTokers that we were going to talk about, that put their underwear on their heads. And I think you should just tell us about that.
I've done that before.
Put your underwear on your head?
Yeah.
Maybe as a child I did? Perhaps?
Sure I did, yeah. You know, I don't know. I don't remember the exact time, but I would think that I would do something like that.
Well, you know, it's a thing now.
Okay.
Do you want to read it?
Sure. Thanks to TikTok, wearing your underwear on your head is suddenly a thing. It started with a hair influence.
Oh, instead of changing your hair, you put underwear on your head.
Oh, my God.
Oh, we're going out.
Oh, my God.
All our little things are just all squirrely today. It's so
fun.
My
gosh.
Okay.
Anyway, the influencer, it started out with a hair influencer who found a way to use a thong to wrap her straight hair for heat-freeze curls, and now it seems like everyone is giving it a try. Okay? Except some are forgetting to take off the thong before leaving the house.
Let's just hope the thong was clean. That's all I have to say.
Experts say, yeah, it works, but it probably it'll break your hair after a while. It'll break your hair after a while? How's it do that?
Dang, I don't know how tight they wrap that thong, but it must be pretty flippin' tight.
Also, a headband does the same thing, but then people wouldn't be talking about underwear on your head.
Oh, wow. Wow, this is the world we live in, folks.
It is.
Go check out TikTok and find the absurdity on your own. Okay, so a fake news tweet led to $2 trillion stock market mistake. What, you ask? Well, some joker paid $8 for one of those verified badges on X to look like a legit news service and then tweeted out a fake story about how President Trump was considering pausing tariffs for 3 months. That was enough to rebound the stock market 2,000 points until half an hour later when everyone realized it was a bogus tweet. So I guess the stock market went, whoa, and then it went whammy, we're back to square one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Don't fake tweet.
Oh, let's see.
It'll get you twitted up.
Twitted, yes.
What? You got one?
National Weather Service staff cuts almost could cost lives, is what it says. Cutting the staff. There were more tornadoes and flooding across the Midwest and South this weekend, and the National Weather Service doesn't have enough people to deal with it. About half of the forecast offices across the country are missing 20% of their staff after the feds cut this year. It's also bad that meteorologists in Kentucky didn't have enough people to survey tornado damage, so they were relying on pictures from social media. One meteorologist calls it a crisis situation. Well, you know, I think they probably get a lot more information by having people send in those.
People.
Yeah.
Do you think that was their thought process? Did they think about the fact that this could cause a shortage in places like this?
Yeah. Well, you know, they've made some mistakes, but they've been quick to rectify those. So we'll see.
Kind of like ripping the Band-Aid off really quick, but maybe then you got to go back and put it on a little bit, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So, do you want to talk about what today is, or
yes, let's do that.
Do you know what you're doing over there,
Dan? I'm trying to
sure?
divert a catastrophe with the timing over here.
Do you need to do something?
No.
Okay. Ben and Jerry's Free Cone Day. Too bad we don't have a Ben and Jerry's right here in Harrison, Arkansas, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Do you know where the closest one is?
Maine is where they started, I think.
Okay, maybe we're not going to Maine to get one today.
Where is it?
I don't know. Today's the day everyone forms a 3-hour line outside of every Ben & Jerry's. It's Free Cone Day, and a tradition that started in 1979. So there you go. If you're near a Ben & Jerry's, go get your free cone today.
You got to go to Maine.
National Empanada Day. Have you ever had an empanada?
Empanada. That sounds familiar.
I've had an empanada.
Is that a dessert?
No.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. There may be dessert ones, but I've had a meat one.
Oh.
My friend used to make them, and they're really, really
What
tasty.
are the cinnamon chips that they make at the Mexican restaurants?
Sopapillas?
Yeah, that's it.
That's not an empanada.
Okay. Thanks for correcting me.
You know, do you remember Casa Bonita in Little Rock? Man, you could put the honey all in there.
No.
Yeah.
Draw Bird Day.
Okay. Oh, dog
Anybody
farting
can-
awareness.
Okay.
Had to get that one in. Zoo Lovers Day. We're done.
All right. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.